Tim, you were talking about short-term rentals. What can you share with us on the new short-term rentals that the province and possibly what the city are coming up with?
Well, it's mostly the province. The new proposed legislation is what's being inquired about by purchasers. Their main interest being, is it going to affect me, of course, when I buy property, and whether I'm going to be able to rent it out, and if so, do I have to rent it? Am I able to rent it on a short-term basis? As you're aware, lots of people buy properties as a business venture to try and make some money, and also maybe just to hold it for a couple of years and then potentially move here in the future. So this newly proposed law, which hasn't passed into law yet, it's received first reading. Most people expect that it's going to pass sometime in March. Essentially restricts short-term rentals, which is defined to be 60 days or less, to a place that is your principal residence. And so that's the starting requirement. And so the proposed law is that you can't rent it on a short-term basis unless it is your principal residence. There's a secondary requirement for registration. So anybody who is going to offer short-term rentals must register with the province and report that and get a license number, I think it is, or some sort of number that is issued by the province. And so those are the two main impediments. Some people are buying properties in Kelowna here, as I said, for the purposes of renting it short term. If that law passes, then that's going to prohibit you from doing so. It's important to note that rule is going to be province-wide, and it is also important not only for people who are buying, but for people who presently own property, that previously, when a new law comes into effect, if you're making a use of a property that is not consistent with the new law that's passed, then you're grandfathered, so you can continue that use on. The province has seen fit to do away with the grandfathering component as it relates to this new legislation. So anybody who is properly doing short-term rentals now, if this law comes into effect, they will no longer be able to do so, and they cannot rely on a grandfathering argument to argue that they should be able to continue short-term rentals.
Thank you. Appreciate that.